Hey everyone. Oh god. Oh gosh. Yep, I'm playing this game. Yep, you're correct. I'm playing this game. Oh jeez. Enter your name. Okay, wait. So yeah, I'll just do my channel name. All right, ready? I'm ready. Okay. I'm not gonna read the dialogue. Well, maybe. I don't know. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious. Don't any attention she might draw to herself. That girl's Fiori, my neighbor and a good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but just kind of works out because you know each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would just oversleep and more frequently, and I was just getting tired of waiting up. But she's going to chase. I just split off and away. However, I just sighed. I mean, yeah. Ha, ha. I cannot do a good girl voice. Okay. I overslept again, but I caught you in time. Can I do a good girl voice? I don't know. I'll practice. I'll practice after this. Because I just woke up and my voice is like so deep. Maybe because I decided to stop and wait for you? Yeah, you see that like we were like oh you see that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Silver. Well, if people stare at you and act weird, I don't want to think we're like a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have anything to be mean if you want to. Wherever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Silver, have you decided on a club to join yet? Club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure if it's possible I did. And whenever I main conversation where I dismiss them and go along with whatever she's going on about. Siri likes to worry a lot too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average spend my free time on games and anime. True. Alright. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize any skills, but okay. Happiness is really important to me, you know. Oh my gosh, this is so I think and I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a knee in a few years just because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs that makes you happy. No promises though. Will you at least promise? My god. Yeah, I'll promise. Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why did I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worried about me makes you want to ease her mind a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Guess it makes sense. Alright, we're at school? The school is new as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Suri wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but start the anime club. Yeah, I feel like that'd be like my first or second choice. I don't really know. Hello? Sayori. Sayori must have come into the class when I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I got you coming out of the classroom. I saw you just sitting there spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought you know. Know what? Oh no. Oh no. Sorry. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. There is no way. Meanie. Meanie! Theory is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was aware of she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest, after the one who proposed to the club, she inherited the title of vice president. Then, some interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care? Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. You son of a... And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. don't, don't make promises you can't keep. My god. I can't tell if Suri's being really much of an airhead, or she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I left that long sigh. I'm sighing. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yeah, I'll probably do that too. I mean, I am me. I don't know. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I sold my whole life just for this, okay? I dejectedly follow Sierra across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used to the third year class and activities. Sierra, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. Oh, not to voice all of them? I told you, don't call me a new member. Alright, let me clear my throat for this. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. I cannot do this. She always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Rude. Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Silver, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. God. All worries escape me in this situation. It's club. It's full of incredibly cute girls! What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made the cupcakes according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who apparently comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. That sounds like Yuri no Monica. Is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Silver. I never met you in my life. Monica smiled sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, and athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels little. Y you too, Monica. So I fix my mic. Okay. Okay, come sit down, Silver. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. And how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk to the corner room where Natsuki gets wrapped by a tray. Yuri opens the closet. Swiftly and awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table with the tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! What? Natsuki lifts the foil tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. I mean, you don't need to decorate them, I'll still eat them. The whiskers are done with ice cream and a little piece of chocolate were used to make ears. That's cute. So cute! I don't want to yell, it's like morning time right now. I still live with my family. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sierra grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Siri talks with her mouth full and has already matched the icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers looking for the best angle to bite. Natsuki's quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. I think it's sweet full of fear. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Well, why are you thinking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did, so you already said... Well, maybe. But not for you, dummy. Alright, alright. I gave up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismissed the conversation. Yuri turns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the tray. Keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I, I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean, I meant that, I, bel- I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? Um, I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet and Sayori seemed really happy here, so it's okay, don't be embarrassed. Well, we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, uh, let's make gamer desktop up on you. As president of the literature club, Monica, I'm surprised. How can you decide to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity about how to prepare for events. I'd rather much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages me to get others into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised that there aren't any more people in this club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people were actually interested in putting out effort to starting something brand new. Especially when it's something like that one hasn't got your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people if you're both fun and worthwhile. It makes school events like the festival much more important. I'm confident that we can only really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls all interested in the same goal. Monica really must have really worked hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted at the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't know if I can keep up with the level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Silver, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, um, considering how little I read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after saying Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her tea cover on her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly compassionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements that usually immerse me as well. Isn't that amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? I've actually been there before. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Ah, I read a horror book once. once in my life, just once. I desperately grasp something that I can relate to at a minimal level. I just rate Yuri might as well have me have. Oh my gosh, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you can say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world. It's only for a or if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, what's that? Oh, I just not to get dirt to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the club last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called "Don't say it out loud" and give that back. Fine, fine. Your comics, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. So he sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands around his shoulders. I am not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing the love of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable through her shares. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we all meet, we'll share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Uh, um, yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think they'll help us get more comfortable with each other and shrink to the bond of a club. Isn't that right, Silver? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back at the original topic of me joining the club, I blindly become the fourth of what's been the mind of my entire time. I never said I would join this club. Theory may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision yet. I stopped looking at other clubs and um I looked at train of thought. Oh shit, they're all mad at me. They're all mad at me. Uh-oh. They're all mad. I lost my train of thought. All four girls staring me back with ejected eyes. But but I'm sorry, I thought Silver. You, you all I'm defenseless against these girls. Someone help! How am I supposed to make a clear decision when it's like this? I'd say that is if writing poems is a price, and I need pay in order to spend every day with these with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sierra wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the co-works, I would be super pissed. And that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring next meeting so we can all share it. Monica looks up at me once more. Silver, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Oh god, I'm starting to. Yeah, yeah. Can I really impress class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up me inside. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Silver, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? I feel like this is mainly towards my friends. That's right, Siri and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. With that, the two of us depart to the club room to make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls, Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I be really happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of these girls. To one of these? Yeah, that's the problem. Alright, I'll just make most of my circumstances to make sure good fortune will find me, and I guess it starts off with writing a poem tonight. That's the problem, only one of them. Okay, how do I save dialogue? So I'll end this off here. In my next video I'll write a poem. So also I sound really kind of sick, so I'll probably next video will probably be tomorrow. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.